Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a question about addiction.
Yes.
I've heard that addiction can be stemmed from kind of entities
No.
in
No.
the human energy field.
No.
No?
Where's the responsibility there?
I know that was kind of my question.
Thank you. Addiction comes from a belief in lack of self-empowerment, which creates a sensation of emptiness that then the consciousness attempts to fill with anything it can. However, it comes from also a denial of that sense of disempowerment, and therefore, instead of actually knowing that the connection is never left to your source of self-empowerment, you are left to believe that you are disconnected. And since you cannot, through the denial, find a way to feel the connection, you attempt to fill that emptiness with things that then dull your awareness of the disconnection. Mm-hmm. You understand?
That makes sense. I mean, I have a couple psychic sensitive friends who say, like, if you drink or do drugs, you expand yourself, and you open yourself up to kind of negative parasitic.
That's different, because you've already created the energy field and you've already created the vibration that may, in a sense, then match the energy of other entities who may be operating on a similar level and attracting yourselves to each other, so to speak. But it's not, in a sense, parasitic in the way that you mean it. It's simply the idea that it's like vibration to like vibration.
Okay.
You understand? If you find the idea of the belief and let it go and suddenly understand that you are connected to your source of empowerment, you will automatically break that link. And when you're not operating on the same wavelength, something operating on that low wavelength can no longer find you. You become invisible to them. You understand?
Interesting, yes. Thank
But
you.
it's not like they're causing it.
No.
You're the one that's creating it within yourself, and then you're just hanging around with like-minded buddies.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes.
I have one more question. I live in California by the beach.
All right.
The last few times I've been there, walked along the shore, there's been hundreds of dead bees, or some of them half alive.
Yes.
Just curious if there's any insight you can provide. I
well,
don't
your
know.
Scientists are already to some degree aware that there are certain imbalances that you've created in nature through pollution, through viral contamination, and a few other sources that are in many ways causing a deconstruction of the natural connective order. So you're seeing the results of all of that.
Yeah, and I didn't know how they wound up at the beach. It's pretty random, I thought.
Well, there are certain kinds of air patterns and electromagnetic patterns on your planet that once that they have been affected in a certain way, they can no longer navigate correctly along those electromagnetic lines and may wind up in a variety of different places they didn't intend to go because they're following different kinds of magnetic pattern lines on your planet. Yes?
Yes.
That they think are the correct ones that aren't because their senses have been thrown off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. And I have one yes or no question.
Yes.
My dad, he thinks the Earth is flat. Is the Earth flat? Yes or no?
He thinks the Earth is flat.
Yeah, that whole, I don't know, the theories of the flat Earth.
No disrespect intended, but you could ask him that if he looks in the mirror, does his head appear flat? Or is it round?
Round.
All right. Now, the idea of a flat Earth, and that which seems to be gaining so much more popularity on your planet, is a distortion of perspective and perception, knowing that there are different dimensions. 0 dimension, 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. The fact that you may be expanding consciousness may be allowing you to perceive that there are realities in which you do experience 2-dimensionality. And therefore, they may assume when they see that kind of perception overlaid on your reality, and they think about the idea of the earth, they may see it or perceive that it could be perceived or experienced as flat. But that's not the dimension you're in. That's not the way you're experiencing it. In your dimension, the earth is a globe, is a ball, is a sphere. But the idea is that as your senses extend beyond your dimension, it will extend in both directions, up and down, and they may perceive an interpretation that allows them to experience the earth from another dimensional point of view, such as the second dimension, which makes it seem flat. That's what's happening, and they're not understanding that it's simply a matter of overlapping perceptions of different dimensional realities. It's not what's happening in your dimension physically. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense.
All right.
Thank you.
And to go back a little bit to the first conversation about the so-called idea of parasitic involvement, you sum it up on your planet with a very old-fashioned phrase. Misery loves company.
Right.
Because they reinforce the negative for each other. That's another technique of the structure of negative beliefs, is that you attract others with negative beliefs to reinforce the negative beliefs within you as you reinforce it within them, so that neither of you will be prone to know that there is a way to change those negative beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it's all, it connects.
That's what you mean by the parasitic nature.
So the root is the belief.
Yes, of course, it always is. Because only by defining something to be true can you actually create or generate any kind of an experience from there. You cannot have feelings in a vacuum. You cannot have thoughts in a vacuum. You cannot have behavior in a vacuum. If you don't have a definition for something, you don't know how to feel, you don't know what to think, you don't know how to act. Mm-hmm. It all starts with the definition that you believe is true.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right?
All right. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you very much for sharing with us.
And you as well.
I'd like to talk about my mantis connections.
Mantis, yes.
Particularly with one mantis that I've named Thomas.
Well, all right.
Which I've looked up the definition of Thomas, and it means twin.
All right.
I'd like to know what time that Thomas lives in and where he lives, what plane he lives on. And learn more about them.
They are projections of sixth density entities.
Okay.
That have been given organizational supervision over the hybridization agenda, among other things.
Okay.
To help direct it in the course that it needs to go, since the Greys themselves sacrificed their ability to feel anything at all in the beginning. They needed someone to watch over them.
Okay.
And in a lot of encounters with the Greys, and even with some of the mantids, you will find that many of those encounters are representative of an encounter between a portion of consciousness that looks one way in one reality, such as you, and a portion of consciousness that looks another way in another reality, such as a Grey or a mantis. So very often in the encounters, you're actually interacting with another version of yourself.
Okay.
Hence the twin idea.
Okay. I experience mudras,
Yes.
and in some instances, what are like martial arts forms that I do throughout my apartment.
Yes.
And sometimes I can do them with my eyes closed.
Yes. Well, you're
or
following energy lines. You're following energy flow. Your body is responding to how energy is flowing through you.
Okay. What are some of the those expressions? What are some of the physical or the creations that are brought about from it that serves humanity? In what ways?
An acceleration of synchronicity.
Okay.
More of an awareness by matching the frequency at the rate at which reality is created by your consciousness to be able to see the structure of existence itself more clearly.
Okay.
Are some of the benefits that come from aligning with those kinds of energy flows.
Okay. And part of the experience I have is much more electrical charge.
Yes.
Like I'm feeling it right now. I'm shaking from it.
Yes. We'll just flow it through you.
Okay.
by doing what you need to do that is representative of your passion.
Okay.
Because again, the idea is that the energy doesn't need to stay in you. You need to become transparent to it and superconductive to it so it flows through you more efficiently. Because that's one of the other things that happens when you align with these kinds of things, is that you experience more of the path of least resistance.
Okay. So my shaking is just that, it's just evidence of that resistance. Okay.
Yes, of a natural resistance to the idea that it's not actually flowing through you right now as fast as it could be.
Right. And that's what I experience.
Yes. Does that help?
Yeah, that helps a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Thank you. Basically, I just recently didn't like the story of my life.
Oh, all right. Are you going to then write a new story?
I am. I'm actually writing the story right now.
How exciting.
I moved to Phoenix,
Oh, all right.
got a new job.
Yes.
Everything in my life is different than it was a few months ago.
Congratulations.
Nothing looks the same.
Congratulations.
So-
Moving to Phoenix and rising from the ashes.
But my question is
Yes.
because you talk about the two different trains,
Yes.
And-
Well, there's more than two, but go on.
right? Or the parallel realities, basically.
Yes,
and
yes,
you
yes.
started with the 9 planets and things like that.
Yes.
Since I've changed my story,
Yes.
changed my surroundings completely.
You're not the same person.
Okay. I guess that's kind of what I was going to ask, yes.
Literally. Not the same person moment to moment to moment, which means that the new person you are has whatever history you define to be true.
Okay. And I feel that. I feel
There you
that
go.
things have changed.
Yes.
And I see the perspective of life differently.
You are in a state where you are more easily capable of breaking what is called continuity.
Okay. I do have to mention, too, I would like to thank Joy, because the synchronicity of she gave me the question, so.
All right. Well, thank you all for your synchronicities.
Yeah.
It's an orchestration.
The other question I had, just a little background as far as when I was a kid, I had near-death experience.
How exciting!
It was because it changed me.
Well, yes, again.
Yeah. It made me search and find, what was really out there because
Yes.
I had that experience of
Which
knowing.
is why you chose to have that.
Right. But just in the last 10 years, I've had numerous medical issues. I've had
How exciting!
pulmonary embolisms,
Ooh,
at least 2,
wow.
2 bowel obstructions,
Oh, my goodness.
and just recently in December,
Are you trying to get back there?
No. I don't know. But in December, I was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, all right. That's exciting, too.
Yeah. But my whole thing is I'm trying to cope with the limiting belief of
Yes.
I believe that I may have the cancer, but the cancer
All
does
right.
not have me.
Yes.
So that is my
So you
mantra.
can use it however you need to use it
Right.
as a teaching tool, as a learning tool.
But-
Again, since you seem to be doing that a lot, that seems to be the way in which you choose to learn things, by giving yourself things that force you to look at things in a new way.
Yeah.
Since you're using it that way, since you've been using it that way, you can look at this as yet one more form of that. What would you not be doing if you didn't have that experience?
I don't know. I think that it's going to lead me to something else.
Oh, well, of course.
And
So then
there's a
can
reason
you-
why I'm having the experience.
Yes. Can you own and contain it in that way, knowing that it's serving you that way?
I can't,
And that when it no longer serves you, it won't be there? Because you will be a different person then who never had it?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Can you wrap your mind around the 13th step?
Right now it's a struggle because I should be doing like chemotherapy and doing bone marrow tests and stuff like that.
All
but I
right.
have a belief that
Yes.
I have a negative belief against it.
All right.
I don't know that the
make
chemotherapy
sure-
will really serve me.
Make sure that you are clear about your beliefs. Because we understand that many of you prefer to do things in a more natural way, and in general, that is generally best for you. But if you have a belief system that those things will actually work for you, don't ignore them.
Okay.
You have to be honest about your belief, because it may be teaching you something to go down that path and learn it that way. without necessarily always just automatically shutting a door that might serve you just because you don't want it to be the way in which something will work for you, because you think you should be being more spiritual than that.
So
sometimes the most spiritual thing to do is to give over to the actual belief system that will guide you through the process you need to go through. Not saying you have to do it one way or another, but just make sure you are clear about why you are saying you don't want to do it that way. Because if you examine your beliefs, you may find that there is a combination of things you can do, some of this, a little of that, that may actually be your true path between all the different decisions, all the different choices.
Okay.
So don't ignore, but make sure you are clear about what is true for you and what isn't. And that you're not labeling something as untrue just because you're afraid of it. Just because you think you shouldn't have to do it that way. That's all we're saying.
So is my belief strong enough to...
It's not about strong enough. It's about what you know to be true for you. It's about clarity.
Okay.
Is it clear enough? That's what we're saying.
Okay.
So, use this time to examine your beliefs, see what conclusions you come to when you are willing to open up to allowing all choices to be equally valid, so that you can choose what you truly prefer without invalidating what you don't prefer. And that will guide you. That energy state will guide you.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
That's your process right now.
Okay. Thank you.
And remember that death is your friend. You've used it many times to help you change course.
I don't think I'm afraid of it. I've stared at it a few times. So
Exactly. So there's no reason to be afraid now, is what we're saying. No matter what this leads to, there's no reason to be afraid, because you're familiar with the territory. Yes?
that makes sense.
All right. And what you're doing right now is letting go of negative beliefs through the chemistry of your tears. You follow? Every time you hold on to a negative belief or you change yourself and let go of old ideas, before, when you held on to the idea, when you had the idea, you always create a chemical component, a chemical reflection in your body of an energetic belief. Once you change and let go of an old belief, you actually have to release the chemical constituent that went along with that belief, and more often than not, most of you do it through your tears. You're washing the chemical reflection of the negative belief out of your body, literally.
Well, it's a release. It feels good.
Exactly. That's why it feels good, because you feel lighter after doing it, because you actually have dropped things that are no longer relevant for you.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. It's crystal. Yeah.
All right.
It is.
And please always remember that as you go on this journey, whatever it is you know you're all about, whatever it is you know you can do, remind yourself, you can, sir. You can, sir. You understand?
Yeah.
I can, sir.
Yes.
I can be who I prefer to be. I can, sir. Yes?
Yes. I appreciate that.
You are very welcome, and you're not alone. You're having help with this from your guides and many other beings. You're never alone on this journey, ever. You're walking hand in hand with others.
Okay. Sorry.
No. There's no need to apologize. You expressed yourself. It's beautiful. All right? Yeah. All right. Sweet dreams.
Cancer. You can, sir. I got it.
And so can you, sir.
Okay.
Good day.
Thank you, Bashar.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
So we have a few questions from our Ustream listeners.
Yes.
The first one is, what is your concept of forgiveness?
Forgiveness is a centering in gratitude and appreciation for who you are and all that you have experienced, and knowing that you are as powerful as you need to be to manifest whatever you need without having to hurt yourself or anyone else in the process. And it is gratitude and appreciation for that realization and letting go of things that do not serve you or allow you to serve others.
So this whole idea with forgiveness, like I think sometimes people are angry at other people.
Yes.
And then they have to find a place where they forgive the other person.
But they have to forgive themselves, because mostly what they're angry at is themselves.
And the reason that we get angry at ourselves, which then ends up being projected onto someone else.
Yes, which doesn't excuse that they may have actually done something negative. That's not what we're saying.
Okay.
But what we're saying is anyone that reacts negatively in that way has an issue that that person obviously triggered within them. And therefore, they are angry within themselves that that has come up and that that person has been able to actually push that button, that the button even exists. So forgiveness involves the idea of acknowledgement and awareness that that negative belief is within yourself and letting that go, and then also having the compassion and empathy to recognize that this person may have done you a service by bringing that to your attention within yourself so that you no longer have to have that anger at yourself for containing something you thought you shouldn't contain but did.
Also, it seems like it comes down to discernment. Like I've personally experienced, and I'm sure others have too, the idea that you get angry at yourself for not discerning that another person will choose a negative behavior.
Whatever the reason is that's imposed upon the structure, it's still the same structure.
So
you're angry at yourself.
Right. So that idea of being angry at the self for not discerning correctly, why does that seem so threatening to us?
Well, because again, you are taught other beliefs about how you are supposed to appear successful, how you are supposed to appear smart, how you're not supposed to allow yourself to get taken advantage of, how you're supposed to this and supposed to that and supposed to this and supposed to that. And therefore, eventually you realize that all these different supposed tos have happened, and now you're very angry with yourself for allowing all these things that weren't supposed to happen. Because you have this idea that they're not supposed to happen, when in fact, obviously, they needed to happen to point out that you needed to let go of those beliefs. So they were supposed to happen in order for you to actually progress and grow and mature.
Can it also be something where it's a survival issue, the idea that if you discern danger correctly, then you survive? So if your discernment isn't working correctly in your environment, can we often perceive that as being life-threatening almost?
Yes, not that it necessarily is, but because of the lack of clarity of what the belief system is, it will often key into your survival mechanism and be blown out of proportion to make you react as if you have to react that way to survive. Yes.
So that makes a lot of sense, that one of the reasons that people take it so hard when they're tricked by another person or they feel that they've made a poor choice, didn't see the red flags, whatever.
Yes.
That it harkens back to our orientation of ourself in the world and in the universe.
Yes.
And the idea that you can feel disoriented if things turn out to be quite a bit different than you think they are.
Although that's a little different. But again, remember that when you go back into that reaction, it's going to key into all sorts of negative belief issues like I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. And by having this experience and the inability to discern what would have prevented that experience from happening, it reinforces the whole issue that it's tapping into. I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving. This is something that I can't survive because it's annihilating my sense of self-worth. It's reinforcing the idea that I'm no good, I don't belong, so on and so forth. It's tapping into all of that and magnifying all of that. So it becomes this jumble of negative belief system reinforcement that can escalate to the point where it feels like a survival issue.
And so the way out of that, now that we've brought that to light,
is to take responsibility for your particular reaction regardless of what another person might have chosen to do, so that you can stop the cascade effect and realize that you don't necessarily need to react. You have something that you can examine within you and find out whether it's true or not, or whether it actually leads you to an understanding or a recognition of a belief that you need to let go of, and therefore you can explore it in a positive way.
I'm just wondering if there's sort of a quick self-reminder at that point, because I've seen this happen to so many people that it can really throw you off when
I
that
create
happens.
my reality. No one else does. I create my experience. No one else does.
So is it sort of the circuit breaker?
Yes.
It actually comes back to the circuit breaker.
Yes. Because if you remind yourself that you're creating your experience, then you can be the only one that's responsible for changing it.
Right.
So it puts you right back into self-empowerment.
So I think the circuit is, I feel such and such. I feel such and such because
I believe such and such about myself.
And I believe that because I think that it serves me.
Because I believe that it serves me.
And so
And that's
why
where
would
it
I
goes back
believe that?
to the motivational mechanism.
Why would I believe
You
that
will
serves me?
always go towards you believe will serve you. You will always move away from what you believe will not. So if you're going toward things that don't serve you, that means your motivational mechanism is tied to beliefs that allow it to operate in reverse of the way it's designed to operate in a positive way.
I've actually found with the circuit breaker that you don't even have to know the answer to the question of
Correct.
why would I believe that this serves me. All you have to
Yes.
do is acknowledge that you're doing it for what you believe to be a positive reason. So in a sense, if another person tricked you, you allowed it to happen because you believed that it would serve you, or that the choice that you were making.
Yes. And again, it doesn't condone their action, but the idea is you are learning to use it in a positive way that serves you by taking that stance, by taking that state of being, instead of assuming that you've actually been duped.
Right. So right there, you can feel the energetic shift
Exactly.
between feeling victimized to realizing that you chose an experience
Yes.
so that you could become more aware, because this is
Yes.
a place where you're learning
Yes,
things.
because
And-
if you have the idea that you feel victimized, what's actually happening is that person has put you in touch with the fact that you have victim-level belief systems about yourself. Again, it doesn't condone what they did, because they obviously have victim-level belief systems too in order to have done what they did. But nevertheless, they put you in touch with your own, and that gives you the opportunity to remain in a positive state and deal with it in a way that will allow you to accelerate through the process of divesting yourself of those belief systems. And then that turns you into a being that can be the state of being that might actually help the other person realize they can do the same.
So when it all comes back to forgiveness now, it actually has a lot more depth, the idea of
Yes.
forgiving yourself when you recognize that at some level you were choosing this for a positive reason.
Yes.
And also recognizing that the other person was, in a sense, a person in your play, in your drama,
Yes.
and that they were making themselves available for that, regardless
Yes.
of whether they had negative intention
Yes.
or not.
Remember that when everyone is self-empowered, there will be no one to answer the call to reinforce belief in victimhood. You understand?
Yes.
Victims in that sense will simply be isolated and get tired of playing the victim game and suddenly re-empower themselves, because that's the only example they're given. So the last victim will automatically empower themselves when no one else is willing to play the victim game.
And that's part of what we're learning here, is not to play the victim game,
Exactly.
because we
Because
actually
you are not victims.
because we're so powerful. I mean, it's
Yes.
our consciousness that's generating
Yes.
the whole experience to begin
Exactly.
with.
So remember that when you feel powerless, you're using your power to create the feeling that you're powerless, which means you're in power. It's all about how you're using your power, not that you actually can be powerless. Anything else?
No, I think that's It's a great exploration. I really appreciate that. So, if you're hungry, well, you're probably not hungry.
No. But you may all enjoy your nutrition break, and we will resume this transmission after your lunch. Thank you.
Thank you, Tessa.
Hi.
Hi.
I would like to thank you for last night's dream and the downloads over the last few days.
Yes.
And my question pertains to an energetic system that I've been getting downloaded with over the last year and a half, which I'm coming to understand as being Maitreya consciousness.
All right. You are working with that particular archetypal consciousness then?
Yes.
All right. And so that's your permission slip at this moment?
It is.
All right.
And my question pertains to what elements I might be missing in regards to this energetic system. In my current understanding, it deals with aligning the pineal, the heart, and the base, and the crystals within the blood, and our glands with those within the earth, which then align with the sun, all the other suns, and the great central sun.
All right. Does that system work for you?
It seems to. However, I'm curious if there are any elements of this system that I am missing, or if there's anything that you can inform me of that would help me to deepen in my understanding of it.
All right. I can ask you a question that may help.
Certainly.
Are there any of the elements you have mentioned that you feel you can do without? Can you simplify the system for yourself?
Well, one of the elements here is it's not just for myself. It's for humanity. And so I'm trying to deepen in my understanding of it so it becomes translatable to others.
Yes, but that's not an answer to the question we asked you.
Okay.
Is there any element that you mentioned that you feel you can do without in that system? That by dropping one of the elements you mentioned, does the system feel a little bit more streamlined, a little bit more powerful to you? Is there such an element?
Potentially the crystals in the blood.
Is that a question or a statement?
Well, I'm not clear of the answer that I have.
Why did you pick those?
Because I'm not as connected with the crystals in the blood as I am with the energies in my base, heart, and pineal.
Then you have answered the question. Drop the elements that don't completely make sense or work for you. The elements you're working with in a permission slip must be crystal clear. No pun intended. All right, a little bit of a pun intended.
Nice.
But the point is, from our perspective, it would actually be more beneficial for you to streamline the permission slip rather than say, is there something missing? There actually needs to be something missing, so that it will work more efficiently for you rather than being overloaded with elements that don't quite make sense and work for you. So take some time to examine it. It's all right if that's your permission slip, but take some time to examine it and see if there's anything you can kind of let go of or merge together into something that makes more sense as a single element rather than two or three, and see if that feels more powerful to you.
Okay.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
That's our suggestion.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah. So I've been surrendering to some feelings, some knowings in my soul, in my heart.
All right.
And one of these elements pertains to a possible death of some layers of consciousness. And,
Death of layers of consciousness?
Mm-hmm. Ego, if you will.
Well, you can't get rid of the ego until you're dead.
Okay.
Literally, physically dead. You can allow yourself to experience the ego in a neutral way, the way it was designed to work. It doesn't have to be the negative ego. That you can certainly let go of. But you can't let go of the ego structure or you'll have no personality. You will just be a shell.
So is that how you define the ego as personality?
In a sense, it's the physical persona that you are pretending to be in order to have a physical experience. We often use the analogy of a diving mask. If you're going diving in the ocean, things will look a little murky to you unless you put on a diving mask to make things clear. The ego structure, the personality structure, is the diving mask that you put on to go diving into the idea of experiencing physical reality. The ego's job, the physical personality's job, is just to make what you're experiencing clearer. That's it. It doesn't have the power to decide where you should go, how things should work out, or any of that. In the same way that a diving mask doesn't tell you, go there and look at that fish now. Now go over there and look at that piece of coral. Oh, look at that. There's a shark coming your way. Isn't that wonderful? I think you should swim this way. The diving mask does none of that. You decide where to go. You decide what to look at. The diving mask just makes it clearer. That's all its job is, to allow you to experience what's happening right now. The higher mind knows what needs to happen, and the higher mind will guide you. But the ego is just there to allow you to have what you call the physical dream. Make sense?
It does. So then how did Jesus see all of this then?
Say that again.
So how did Jesus see all of this then?
How did Jesus?
When he surrendered to the depth of his soul within his heart.
No, not really.
What
That's a
was
misinterpretation.
What's your interpretation then?
He surrendered to being his greater self. That's very different. That's actually becoming more of your soul. Yes?
Okay.
That's expressing more of your heart. Does that make sense? You understand that physical reality is literally just a dream that your spirit is having? Literally. You have never left spirit. None of you have. That's your natural state. You're there right now. You are in spirit right now. You are dreaming that you're not. That's what physical reality is. So the entity that you call Jesus simply understood that and therefore expanded the consciousness beyond the physical parameters to a certain point, to allow a fuller expression of his total being and the being of all that is to come through, as all of you can do. That's actually what he was teaching. Not about the idea of creating Christianity per se, but that you are all Christ's. And therefore, what he exhibited, you can exhibit. In fact, that's actually still in your Bible as a quote from him. Greater things than I have done will you do. How could that be if you are not also capable of becoming a Christ? Yes? Does that make sense?
It does.
All right. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for the most part. For the most part.
What part didn't it answer?
There's something inside of me, deep in there, that I'm starting to get in touch with, that the more I view the world through it and connect with it and start to express it,
Yes.
it's creating more questions and a lot more deep answers.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's your greater self.
Yeah.
That's you connecting to your greater self and allowing more of it through. Yes, of course. That's how it works. The more you become, the more can come through you. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help?
It does.
Did that leave any part out?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
Please continue your journey and
Yeah.
have fun.
Yes, that's my sense right now.
All
Exactly.
right. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
So, this is what flow feels like. Following my excitement, and I'm here.
Yes, this is what flow feels like, because every single one of you has a current in creation, and your current knows where you need to go. So just go with that flow, and you'll wind up exactly where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there, with exactly who you need to be with. Perfect principle of synchronicity organizing your life.
Yes, I've never experienced this before. This is fantastic.
Yes.
To the best of my ability, with no hesitation. Okay, so my question is there a way that we can really remember ourselves, our real selves?
Yes. That's why we give you the formula. That's what happens. It all boils down to a few simple instructions. Because when you follow the instructions of acting on your passion to the best you can, with no assumption, no insistence on the outcome, and you remain in a positive state no matter what's happening, what happens? You raise your frequency. When you raise your frequency, what happens? You become a more sensitive antenna to higher frequency communication and information and intelligence. When you become a better receiver of that information, what happens? You expand your consciousness. When you expand your consciousness, what happens? You know yourself more deeply, more fully, more truly. It all works together. That's why we give you the instruction manual. Almost every single question most of you ask us is contained in that instruction manual. By doing it, you will be more of yourself. And when you are more of yourself, you will know more of yourself. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. Why do we keep forgetting our power so quickly, so easily?
Because you have been trained to. Because you have been trained to buy into fear-based beliefs that say you are not worthy, you are not deserving, you are not powerful, you are not confident, you are not trusting, you are not connected, you are out of control. Yes? These are the things that you are taught on your planet. When you grow up in your society, from your parents, your friends, your schooling. But when you become an adult, you begin to realize, hey, I was spoon-fed something that I can't digest anymore. That's not me. I needed to believe it was me for a while because other people made me believe that if I didn't believe that, they wouldn't take care of me. They wouldn't like me. I wouldn't survive. But now, you're an adult. You can handle survival on your own. You can thrive. You need to find out who you really are. You need to let go of the things that are no longer you, that supported you up to a point, but which you no longer need. You're carrying around, most of you, other people's belief systems that have nothing to do with you, other people's baggage, so to speak. Your baggage weighs nothing. If you feel held back, it means you're carrying around someone else's baggage. Drop it. Find out what those beliefs are that are out of alignment with who you truly are, who you prefer to be. And when you bring those fear-based, negative-oriented beliefs to the light of your consciousness from your unconscious mind, and really see what they say, the first thing you will notice is, more often than not, they will appear illogical, nonsensical, when you really examine what they say. You will see right through them as a lie. And therefore, as soon as a belief appears to you to be nonsensical, it's gone. That's the end of the process of letting it go, not the beginning. Because you don't hold on to anything that appears nonsensical. If you do hold on to the belief, that means there is another belief that is making that belief appear to make sense. You have to find out what that belief is and keep digging and digging and digging until you come down to the fundamental, foundational belief that is holding all the other ones together. And as soon as you crack that fundamental negative belief, all the other ones will collapse. But sometimes a negative belief, a fundamental one, because it is attempting to perpetuate itself, like all beliefs are made to do, may hide under other beliefs. Allow you to think, oh, look, I discovered that negative belief, it's gone, now everything will be different. But you see that it's not. You keep acting the same way, keep behaving the same way, keep feeling the same way, keep thinking the same way, keep having the same kind of negative experiences. That simply means you haven't found the fundamental negative belief. keep digging. Once you find that and see that it makes no sense and truly let that one go, then everything changes, everything shifts.
Agreed.
You will find out, generally speaking, even though there may be very many specific ways in which this can be expressed in your life, you will usually find out that the fundamental negative belief is some variation of I'm not worthy. And yet, you exist. How could it be that you exist if you're not worthy of existence? Do you believe creation makes a mistake? It doesn't. Nothing is pointless within existence. It exists for a reason. So if you exist, just to put it in colloquial language, existence must need you to exist in order for it to be complete unto itself. Because if it really didn't need you, you wouldn't exist. Therefore, you are worthy by the fact that you exist, and you don't need another reason to be worthy. If you start to believe that you are unworthy, and keep believing that you are unworthy, you are arguing with creation about your worth. You will never, ever win that argument. Ever. Because you cannot cease to exist. You may change form, but you, the you that is you, the reflection of all that is your perspective, your unique consciousness, cannot cease to exist. Why? Because by definition, there's nowhere for you to go. Non-existence, by definition, doesn't exist. Think about it. That's the quality of non-existence, to not exist. It doesn't exist. That's its quality. So if you exist, you can't become non-existent because non-existence doesn't exist. There's nowhere for you to go. So you are worthy because you exist. Is this making some sense to you?
I am feeling all of these things. I feel these almost like I'm a hive, and the hive is splitting in some way. And so I'm just going the right direction, and
if you're being you, yes.
Definitely being me for the first time in my life. Just me, not carrying other people's baggage, but still on the same journey.
Well, yes, on the journey of being you. You see, that's actually your purpose in life, all of you. To be you, as fully as you can be. You may express that purpose in a number of ways, but those are the expressions of your purpose. Your purpose is to be you. That's it. Simple. Don't overthink it. Don't overcomplicate it. Just be you. Even though most of you have been taught to do this, the hardest thing to do is to be someone you're not. The easiest thing is to be you. All the pain, all the struggle, all the strife, all the difficulty comes from trying to be someone you're not. All of it. When you start to go with your flow, as we talked about, that's your current, it becomes effortless. It becomes automatic. It becomes joyful. It becomes creative. It becomes loving. It becomes fulfilling. Because all those things are automatically contained in the automatic guidance system that goes with being yourself, that's built in. Surrender is not giving up control. Surrender is surrendering to the control that's already built into you. Go with the flow. That's all you have to do. Of course, if you're really excited about overcomplicating it, I'm not going to stop you. Because if that's your joy, then that's your joy. If that's your path, then that's your path. But you get to decide. The greatest freedom all of you have is the ability to choose. So choose. Is this helping?
Yes. Thank you very much.
You are very welcome.
Thank you for being my friend. Nice to meet you.
And you as well.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
My question is about Europe, because I think there are also some fans from Europe. And I didn't find many information on vortices and energy points in Europe. Can you maybe tell some hotspots?
Well, I think you already know of some, certainly. Such places as the stone circles. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, there are many stone circles throughout Europe that are marking different places of high energy vortices. There are certain places that are famous for a reason, because people are attracted to the vortices and then build major cities there, such as Paris. The Eiffel Tower is literally at the center of a vortex. That's why these things get put where they get put, because whether it's conscious or unconscious or instinctual, you gravitate to where that energy is and create representations that demark them. So quite often you will find that the most, shall we say, observable or sacred, or sometimes the most mysterious edifices are usually placed somewhere within a vortex. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. Does that help?
Yes. Some
But-
travel points.
Well, obviously sometimes there are also mountains that will serve as indications of strong energy upwellings and vortices on your planet. What you call Vesuvius is one, very strong vortex. The island of Crete is another major vortex in the Mediterranean, especially the Temple of Knossos. You follow?
Yes.
All right. One moment. The region occupied by what you call the Basque people is a very particular kind of vortex that connects to certain ancient lineages going back to Atlantean times, very powerfully. Many times where in England the crop circles form, other major vortices are there. The Isle of Man is an extremely powerful vortex that has to do with the opening of mysteries. And there are many others. But you can find the rest by using your senses and being attracted to places, and that will tell you that there's some energy there for you. Anything else?
Yes, thank you. Is there any particular very strong point, because there's like all over the place in Sedona, a nice vortex to visit for cosmic energies?
Bell Rock is the center of the vortex that covers all of Sedona.
Okay,
That's why my ship is above it.
good to know.
Does that help?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Are there any other beings beside my higher self that want to make a message now?
You are being given the messages that you need to be given through this conversation.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, let us say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. Once again, we will continue with this transmission by first and foremost thanking each and every one of you in deep appreciation and gratitude for the co-creation of these interactions, which allows for certain changes to occur in the vibrational frequency of the makeup of both of our respective realities. This transmission, we would like to focus on an idea we have called in your language, sacred circuitry. You all have diagrams of some, just a few, of the sacred circuits. What this is a reference to is a particular tool, a particular technique, a particular reflective idea that is unique in a very specific way. Most times what we have shared with you as tools and techniques and permission slips have come from our own society's understandings, our own society's applications of these principles that we discuss with you. While we have ourselves adopted and adapted this idea within our society, this particular technique comes as a gift, as a sharing, handed down from other societies in creation. We will only go so far back as to say that while it did not originate with them, what is relevant to this particular interaction is that this particular technique was also adopted and adapted by the civilization, the physical civilization in the star system of Sirius, and handed down to the hybrid civilization that we have already spoken of, that we call the first ones, the Shalanaya or the Yael, who have handed it down to our civilization, the Sathani people, and now we hand it down to you. So this is the first time that we are sharing a technique, a tool, a permission slip, a gift, handed down as a gift from other civilizations in a specific succession. And you are next in line to receive this gift, this sharing. So we bequeath this now to you, to make it your own, to adopt it and adapt it to your own imaginings, your own civilization. So while we will give you some brief instruction as to how perhaps to utilize this particular permission slip, please understand that in time you may also rely upon your own imagination, the conduit between your physical mind and higher mind, your spirit guides, your synchronicities, your own understandings of the choices that you have made to experience this reality. You may rely on these things to adapt this idea, this tool, in whatever way, shape, or form suits you best, individually and collectively. But the basic idea is that it will tap into, like many permission slips, the collective consciousness and unconsciousness of your civilization, the collective world spirit of your civilization, and that is why, even though you may adapt it in a very personal manner, it will have some effect on most of you, even though it is a permission slip, and you are giving yourself permission by simply using this as a reflection to become more of yourselves. It will key into those things that are extremely common with most of you, because it taps right into the idea of the wiring of the brain, the neurological wiring of your brains. As we have said before, there are 3 levels to the idea of the reception of information in the idea of physical reality. There is the higher mind, which is the conceiver. There is the physical brain, which is the receiver, the antenna. And there is the physical mind, which is the perceiver of the experience. This permission slip, this gift, this sharing handed down, is specifically designed to assist you in rewiring and adapting your receiver, your antenna, your brain, your physical brain, in such a manner as to allow for many different things, one of which is greater communication between your physical mind and higher mind, allowing your brain to become not just superconductive, but hyperconductive, allowing information to go smoothly, effortlessly, in both directions, from physical to higher, from higher to physical. Thus acting also more as a network, allowing you to associate more readily, tap into and access more information more readily, gain perspectives that allow for broader understanding of various levels of your reality experience, that allow you to tap into broader capability at perceiving other levels of reality, other dimensions of experience. Of course, as we have also said, each and every thought you have changes the wiring of your brain, and based specifically on what we spoke of last night of your time in terms of shifting through parallel realities. The idea being that you are truly a different person, a new person, literally, every moment. The idea of learning how to consciously rewire your brains in specific ways will allow you more efficacy in becoming the person that you wish to become, that you prefer to become, who you prefer to be. And thus then, along with that, the attendant parallel reality that is reflective of that state. Now, as you gaze at the first 15 of the sacred circuits, and there are many, many more, but we will start here. We will keep it simple. The idea, first and foremost, one way that you can begin to utilize these would be to take some time, on your own time, to turn each and every one of these into its own, as you call them, flashcard, individually. 15 flashcards, each one with one symbol and one word upon it. As you thus create these flashcards, 1 to 15, with each attendant circuit and attendant word, the idea would be to sit in a quiet and meditative way, a relaxed and peaceful way, in an environment that you find relaxing and peaceful, with music if you wish, with colors if you wish, however you wish it to be, that to you represents a peaceful state, without interruption. The idea being that you will take and gaze at each one of these in succession, in order, 1 minute a card for 15 minutes. Do this 3 days in a row. 1 card at a time, 1 minute per card, in order, 1 through 15 for 15 minutes. And as you simply gaze and ponder and allow your mind to drift, and just absorb the idea of the shape, just absorb the idea of the attendant concept, without thinking, without analyzing, just let it in, just gaze at it, just let your eyes be the true windows to your soul, your spirit, your mind, and everything else. Bless you. Allow yourselves the opportunity to just sit with these shapes and know that as you do so, what they are doing is that they are specifically designed to allow the neurological circuitry in your brain to rewire itself to be representative of each and every one of these symbolic shapes, so that it may function in accord with the concept that is attendant to this shape. And overall, over the course of these first 15, allow you to more holistically function in a hyperconnective, hyperconductive, associative, accessing way to knowledge, information about yourself, about the cosmos, about all that is, in whatever way, shape, or form is appropriate for you as an individual aspect of creation. After you have done it 3 days in a row, in order, 1 through 15, each time, thereafter, You may do it in any order you so desire, any order you are attracted to. Whatever it is, in that sense, you are wishing to focus on, you may do it in that way. And you do not necessarily have to even do them all. You may find yourself sometimes gravitating to simply 1, 2, or 3, or more in any given day. The idea, however, is that how many ever you decide on any given single day, and you do not need to do this more than once a day, you can do it twice, you can do it 3 times. I would not suggest you do it more. The idea is that you need to allow your brain time to adapt, time to incorporate, time to absorb, time to crystallize these effects, these adaptations, these circuits. So, start slow, start soft, let it take whatever time it is natural for it to take. And if you only do less than 15 on any given day, after you do the first 3 days in the order in which they come, then allow yourself again at any given sitting, even if you're only using 1, to not do it for more than 15 minutes. As we have spoken of before, in the session that we entitled 15 Minutes and Counting, and as you have observed and will observe with the meditation that is attendant to the holotope experience, 15 minutes is the time frame in your reality that best suits the absorption of information and the alteration and the rewiring of the brain for a specific task. Longer than that is really not efficient. Longer than that can actually, in some senses, before it is, in that sense, absorbed appropriately and adapted appropriately, before it is crystallized, can actually allow you to lose the effect a little bit. So keep it simple, keep it short, always keep it to 15 minutes. You do not need more than that, guaranteed. So, take a moment now. We don't have to spend the 15 minutes doing it, but just take a moment now, starting on the first page, to simply take a few seconds to gaze at each one in order, 1 through 15. This is just by way now of introducing your brain to the concept. You are making now a formal introduction to allow your brain to know what's coming, because the physical mind loves to know what's coming. So we will give it its due at the moment and give it a little bit of preparation. Look at number 1. Just number 1. Just take a moment and say hello to each symbol and form an associative, loving, peaceful, exciting, creative, playful energy with each symbol. Look at number 2. Do the same. Just 1 or 2 breaths with each symbol is all that is necessary, maybe 3 breaths. Take a moment, look at number 3. Let the symbol fill your gaze, fill your mind, feel it. In a sense, being recognized and acknowledged by your physical mind, by your brain. If you even wish to feel a sensation or create a sensation of the circuitry in your brain actually rewiring itself as you do this, that's fine, for this is the beginning of the permission slip, even in this simple form. Look at number 4. Allow yourself to familiarize the shape in your mind. Look at number 5. Take a breath. Take 2. Flip over to number 6. And understand, of course, again, that it is no accident. These are broken down into 5s. 5 being the number of humanity. This is one of the adaptations specifically for your civilization. So all the times we will introduce these circuits and more of them later on to you, they will always be given to you in clusters of 5. So look at number 6. Look at number 7. Allow yourself to drift to number 8. Ponder and explore the shapes of number 9. and number 10 at whatever rate you are comfortable with. You do not have to follow exactly the pace at which we are moving. Just take a moment to sit with it. And then go ahead and flip, if you wish, to 11. Allow yourselves to feel the expansiveness that comes with that symbol. Allow yourself to flip to number 12 in your mind. And feel the activity that comes with that. Allow yourself to ponder number 13, the great transformer. That which is the crucible that allows for all change in a smooth and effortless way. Then ponder, if you will, number 14, the great, in that sense, connector. To reinforce and recrystallize and establish your connection to all things. And then, last but certainly not least, the great manifestation. That which allows you to see all things coming into play, all things finding their appropriate place and time and timing. All the things you're already connected to suddenly being capable of appearing to you in your sight, because you have expanded your frequency and thus are capable of seeing what was heretofore invisible to you. For that is all manifestation is the making visible, which is already here, that which is invisible before. So thus then now you have this tool, this technique, this gift, this sharing, this permission slip. Do not worry about how you recreate these symbols on your flashcards. You may do them by hand. It is one of the reasons we instructed the channel, when we downloaded this information to him, to leave them as hand-drawn symbols. You do not need to make them any more precise. You can if you wish to. You may doll them up, decorate them up, in any way, shape, or form you so desire, as long as the basic symbol is maintained intact. You may make them more precise, or you may simply hand draw them as you see here. They will always work. It does not matter. And in some senses, in particular, in actual fact, if you actually hand draw them to the best of your ability, it will actually be more strongly connected to your circuitry, because you did it with your circuitry, more directly, more, shall we say, naturally. Again, it is up to you. If you feel a stronger kinship with them by rendering them via some form of computer art or what have you, that is up to you. But just allow yourself to sense whether the symbols thus then feel a little bit removed, or whether they still feel a part of you, an extension of you, and capable of being related to by you in a natural way. That is what is most important. That you truly form a relationship with each and every one of these symbols. Each and every one is like a little autonomous being, with its own consciousness, its own vibration, its own reality, its own awareness, and it is willing to form a relationship with you and express itself as an imprint, an encodation in your brain, in your neurological circuitry, to aid and assist you in being a smooth receiver, an expanded antenna, and to help facilitate, through the conduit of imagination and inspiration, a greater dialogue, a clearer dialogue, an active dialogue, and an active partnership between your physical mind and higher mind, using the facilitator of your brain, your receiver, your antenna. One moment, we have a guest who wishes to say a few words. Greetings. Greetings. I am the primary facilitator for the Sasani homeworld. What you would recognize in your future as the replacement for what you now call government, which we do not have. We have only those that assist in the facilitation of the synchronicity that exists within the telepathic bond between all of our race. We are speaking with you this day in this way because of this gift that our world passes down to you. And in this way allows you to become more connected with us as you become more connected with yourselves. We extend to you, all of you, our deep appreciation at being willing to become part of our family, our extended family in this way. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our family. By this gift, you will find yourselves from time to time, quite literally. By this gift, you will find yourselves from place to place, quite literally. With this gift, you will find space and time more flexible, more malleable. You will find shifts in your perceptions and your perspectives that will line up more truly with your fundamental selves, your core being, the aspects of your creatorhood, and more flow with your synchronicity. In particular, pay attention to the glyph, the circuit that is the circuit called flow. For when you arrive in pondering the circuit called flow, you will be specifically accelerating the energy of all that flows to you and all that flows from you. And as you align with this flow, you will more readily receive and you will more readily give that vibration that is translated in your reality as unconditional love. And as you are more willing to stand in the path, in the tunnel, in the conduit, in the pipeline of that flow, you will find yourselves becoming expanded in very specific ways that may allow you to catch glimpses of other realities that are concurrent with your own, that have relevance and meaning synchronistically for you, and may illuminate more readily, and may illuminate more clearly your particular choices for this life, and may recalling, reawakening the choices that you made for this physical reality, so as to more clearly illuminate the path you have chosen to be, and more clearly grant you understanding, true, fundamental understanding of why it is obvious to act upon your joy every moment that you have been granted existence and life. And allow your experience to be undifferentiated from what and who you are, for you are the experience you are having itself. You are the experience all that is having of itself. Have a grand experience with this gift. Once again, we welcome you to our family. We welcome you to our society, as you have welcomed us to yours. We salute you. We give you back your tutor. This is a time when you have arrived at a place where this being we call the primary facilitator thus then gives his 3 cents and thus then acts as a demarcation that is another marker, another milestone on the path of contact, and allows you to know that you have expanded to the point to use this greeting from him as a barometer, to know that you have arrived at a point where you are now taking a step to another level, expanding to another level, to another accelerative level that will allow for more contact to begin to occur in a variety of ways. So do not be surprised, or if you wish to be surprised, go right ahead, by the fact that over the course of the remainder of what you call this orbit, this year, and into the beginning of your year you call 2011, that there may be far more reported activity of what you call spacecraft in your skies, and far more activity within you and yourselves and your memory and remembering that many of you, and in some ways all of you, have already had certain kinds of contact that you may simply not be remembering yet. But by this greeting as a demarcation, you will find that you may accelerate in your dreams or even in your physical waking state to begin to remember encounters you have already had on other levels and even on your level. And it is the pace at which you remember that contact has already occurred in certain ways that we use as a barometer to gauge. The rate at which you remember the contacts that have already occurred is the barometer we use to gauge when your society is ready for more. For remember, after your year of 2012, the quarantine will be off. And the idea of contact and the rate at which it occurs will no longer be based on the idea of our hands-off policy. It will totally be based on the rate at which you yourselves deem you are ready for open contact by your actions, by the things you do in your world, by the changes you create within yourself and the responses that occur within yourself to whatever is going on your planet. From that point forward, and what you call that particular demarcation point, the end of the old cycle, the beginning of the new, on your December 21st, 2012, will be the final date wherein we are prevented by our own reckonings from interacting with you. It will solely be in your hands as to determine when your world is willing to open up more and more for further relationship with all of us and others. So, we give you this tool, this day, as a particular special present to mark this birth and new birth and rebirth of yourselves as new people in a new reality with a different history and a completely different future that you are creating from a completely different present. So congratulations. Thank you for applauding yourselves. At this timing, we may begin with explorations, questions, and discussions that are pertinent and germane to the ideas we have expounded upon herein.
Okay. Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Everyone, pay attention, for there will always be something in every conversation that will help you in some way, shape, or form, or help someone you know. Again, pay attention to the synchronicities and the karmic alignments that you have created together this night of your time.
Greetings, Bashar.
To you, good day.
I have felt the misalignment in my physical body for the last 2 months.
How exciting.
Yes, I have felt chronic pain.
Oh, all right.
And I have been taking painkillers every day, and my body got addicted to them.
Oh, all right.
And
so what hole are you attempting to fill in your life? Can you answer that? Is there an emptiness you are attempting to fill? Something that you would like to be doing, you are not? Some path you would like to be taking, some dream you would like to fulfill that you are resisting, and thus then creating an emptiness that must be filled?
Yes.
What?
In my mind, I'm struggling with the idea of letting go of the idea that I have to work, and my dream would be to paint and to write.
Is that not work?
I'm not making money.
Is painting and writing not a type of work?
I consider work when I gain money.
So you are saying that painting is not work and writing is not work, so therefore if you're not defining it as work, you're saying it can't bring you money. Yes?
Correct.
Well, why are you defining it that way? It still requires some particular action, some physical action on your part, doesn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that the simplest definition of work?
Yes.
We understand that, as you say on your planet, a labor of love is no labor at all. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like an effort, but it still requires the idea of the use of energy. And by your scientific definition, that is still a definition of work being done. So why are you saying that painting and writing are not the type of work that can attract abundance to you? Why are you making that definition connection?
Yeah.
Would you all like some karma chips while she's thinking? Karma chips and dip.
So by changing my definition.
Can you use your imagination to understand that there are people on your planet who do write and paint and make what you call a handsome living?
Yes.
You know that they exist, yes? That's not a secret to you, is it?
No.
Oh, all right. So why them and not you? What's so different about you that you can't do what they do?
I feel guilt.
Guilt about what?
About doing what I love doing.
Why?
Because I've been trained as a child that I must work to make money.
But that is work. You're not paying attention? Painting and writing is work. Are you saying that all the painters in the world and all the writers in the world aren't working? I think they would beg to differ. Yes?
Yes.
Well, so why them? Why not you?
Yes.
May I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you wish to be arrogant?
No.
Well, then why are you being arrogant? Out of all the people in the world, only I will this not work for. I am so special that while all these people can make a living writing and painting, I can't. I must stand out as something different. That makes me special. Makes you arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
You see the contradiction here?
Yes.
If it works for them, it can work for you if you wish it to, if you allow it to. You just need to drop all the definitions you're holding on to that don't allow you to experience how it can. Because obviously, if you see examples in your reality of other people doing what it is you say you prefer to do, and it's working fine for them, that must at least give you a hint that it can work for you, yes?
Yes.
And that the only reason it wouldn't be is because you are standing in the way with your own definitions and you're holding your joy at bay. Remember, as we were talking about, you're always giving off a core vibration. That core vibration is the essence of joy and love and creativity. And the idea is that you are always, without fail, you are always attracting the things that are representative of supporting you in that joy and in that creativity. You're always attracting them. You don't have to learn how to attract or manifest those things. But you have to understand that if you're not experiencing those things, if they don't seem to be coming to you, it's not because you're not attracting them, it's because you're holding them away with your definitions. So if you just drop those definitions, that will all come flooding in. Because you don't have to do anything special to make it come to you. You just have to allow it to come to you by getting out of your own way with definitions that don't work for you. Make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping you feel a little bit lighter?
Yes. So Bashar,
Yes.
If I do what I love doing without guilt.
Yes.
Well,
let me stop you right there. Please listen and pay attention to the contradictory definitions you're setting up right there, because how can you actually do something you love to do if you actually feel guilty? If you're feeling guilt, you're not doing something you love to do. If you're doing something you love to do, you feel no guilt. So by definition, if you're truly doing what you love to do, guilt isn't a component of that definition. And if you're truly experiencing guilt, you are not, by definition, doing what you love to do, because guilt is not a definition in your overall definition of joy and love and excitement. You understand?
Yes, the guilt would come from not working in something.
No, guilt does not come from not working. Guilt comes from your definition of your relationship to the situation. No situation has built-in meaning, and no circumstance has built-in struggle or built-in guilt. Only your definition of your relation to the situation creates that experience. You understand?
Yes.
So, why are you choosing to believe or buy into the idea that to do what you love brings guilt up? Like you're doing something wrong, when doing what you love is exactly right for you by definition, because it's what you love, and therefore it is your true core vibration. And therefore, as your true core vibration, that's exactly what you ought to do. So why would you be guilty doing exactly what you ought to do?
Because of the pressure of all the people around me that want.
But you don't understand what we are saying. The pressure isn't coming from them. It's coming from you agreeing with them and pressuring yourself to not be who you are. Mm-hmm. The pressure you feel doesn't come from them. They may offer you an opportunity to feel pressure with their belief systems by saying, you should feel guilty. But the only way you will actually feel guilty is if you agree with them that you should. Mm-hmm. And when you agree with them that you should, then you'll feel the pressure of the guilt. You'll feel the pressure. But if you say, are you nuts? You don't know who I am. You're not talking about me. Oh, I see. I can have the compassion now, and the eyes can be opened wide enough to understand that when you're talking about feeling guilt, that I should feel this, and I should feel that, and I should feel this pressure, what you're actually doing is wagging your finger at yourself, saying you are the one that feels this, and you resent the idea that I don't prefer to, because if I don't prefer to feel guilt, I am always then a reminder of the fact that you are choosing to feel it. And you don't know how to change that, and therefore you resent that I do. But if you don't resent that I do and allow yourself to let it be all right for me to be who I wish to be, then I will be an example for you, and you can choose to not feel guilty too by seeing my example, and then I'm helping you. Mm-hmm. But if you agree to feel the guilt and the pressure that they say you should, you're not only not helping yourself, you're not helping them, because all you're doing is reinforcing the thing that they're already doing to themselves, which is putting pressure and guilt upon themselves, and therefore trying to share that with everyone, because as you say, misery loves company. So why reinforce the negative in them? By agreeing with them and agreeing to experience energy you know you don't prefer, why reinforce their pain? Why reinforce their struggle by continuing to agree to be an example and a reflection of the struggle they already know instead of being a shining example of a different option for them? And give them an opportunity to see in you, well, you know, she's doing pretty good after all. I didn't believe that was possible, but look at her. She's happy as a lark, painting and writing. And, well, and look at that. The money's coming in. The abundance is coming in. She's just sailing through life. Now, I wonder, maybe I could do that. Oh, well, I don't know. I'm too afraid. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could talk with her. Maybe she could share with me some ideas of how she was able to let go of that. You never know. You understand?
Yes.
That's how you help others, by being the example of a different option instead of simply reinforcing the negative idea that they are offering to you. You understand?
Yes.
Is this helping you?
Yes, thank you, because I had never imagined that my physical pain had to do with not allowing myself to do
Yes.
what I am most excited.
Well, now you can imagine it, because really, all pain is the result of resistance to the natural self. You understand?
Yes.
All right. Does this help you?
Yes.
Then happy painting, happy writing, happy abundance to you.
Thank you so much, Bashar.
Thank you. Paint a new picture. Write a new story by changing your definitions. And you will live that story. You will live in that picture. The picture will become real. The story will become yours.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I would like to ask about astrology.
All right, go ahead. Ask about astrology.
Okay, when we are born,
Yes.
okay, we're born on a certain month.
Yes,
and
I understand.
There's a certain planet that is affecting us.
Nope.
Okay, this is what I want to know.
Not affecting, reflecting.
Reflecting.
Astrology is a permission slip that is simply a reflection of the idea of how you have crystallized your particular experience into physical reality, and therefore it can be used to reflect certain things, themes you've chosen to explore, and so on and so forth, but it's not affecting you, it's simply reflecting you.
So that means if my planet is Venus, let's say.
Yes.
Okay, was I experiencing life on Venus?
No.
sometimes,
That's
or-
not what it means. It's a symbolic reflection of the idea of what you chose to experience as your themes of exploration in your incarnation on Earth.
I still can't.
Do you understand?
No.
You don't understand?
No.
All right. What are some of the greatest challenges that you face in life? Because the greatest challenges you face are representative of the themes you chose to explore in this life. Can you name one? Are you challenged in love?
No.
No. All right. Why not? Do you find that your love life flows easily?
Yes.
It does?
Yes.
Do you know what the symbol of Venus is? Love.
Really?
Yes. So you're using the planet symbolically as a reflection of an area in your life that is representative of an energy you carry easily. You understand?
Okay. Yeah.
Are you getting it now?
Yes, I get it.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Does that answer your question
It
sufficiently?
does. It surely does. Yes.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
You were just talking about karma.
I was.
Can you talk more, explain it more in depth? My understanding is we say what goes around comes around.
As we said, what you put out is what you get back.
Correct. And
It doesn't always come exactly in a one-to-one format. It's not always easily recognizable as a reflection, but it's there nevertheless.
And what I've been doing is looking at anything that happens as something positive.
All right.
And looking at what is this positive nugget to take from this.
Yes.
So it sounds to me like
That doesn't mean you ignore the fact that the original behavior might have been negative. It simply means that if you want to get a positive effect out of that recognition, you have to understand that the reason you are now realizing that will lead to a positive effect in your life. And perhaps the positive effect simply will be that you now recognize you no longer wish to exhibit the negative behavior. That can be a positive effect.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, yes. Also, the idea of something that you do today could come back 5 years from now.
Yes.
That's sort of
That's because you live in a linear space-time framework. Everything exists all at once.
True.
And in a sense, here's a very interesting thing about the idea of living in a space-time continuum experience. It delays your karma to give you a chance to see what you're doing and course correct.
But how will we know that it's connected to that event, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. You will always know when you are out of balance if you pay attention. And you don't necessarily have to connect it always to a specific event. The idea simply is that you will always be given an opportunity to course correct by whatever circumstance or situation will work best for you to bring to your attention that you might be out of alignment. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to connect it to a specific thing to know you're out of alignment. If you do connect it to a specific thing, then all well and good. It may give you some tools to work with. But if you simply can sense that you're out of alignment, if you're willing to have a deep exploration of what that means, you'll find the answers you need, whether you remember a specific event that was representative of the misalignment or not.
Okay.
Does that help you?
Yes, very
Is
much.
it lightening up your ability to use karma without straitjacketing yourself?
Yes, and I really wasn't using the word any longer. A long
all
time,
right.
Well, a long time ago you had talked about that it really didn't exist, that
Well,
our
not
concept
really,
of it.
not in the way that you explain it on Earth, no.
Right. So you're giving us a new definition, really.
Absolutely. It's up to you to decide whether the definition works for you or not. If it does, I guarantee your life will be easier. If it doesn't work for you, I guarantee you'll experience more resistance.
Okay.
Because this is just physics. That's all it is.
Right.
That's all karma is. It's just vibrational physics. You're in alignment, you're not in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Yes? Not
Yes.
so tough.
Well, it's just being in tune with whether we're in alignment or not.
Yes. And that's the whole idea of why it's important to be willing to explore the idea of that vibration instead of fearing it by giving it a negative definition. Because when you give things a negative definition, you don't want to explore it. You're not willing to look at it. And that's what stops you. That's what trips you up. Willingness to look at anything will never trip you up. There is no inherent difficulty in any situation. Only your resistance to it creates the difficulty. The situation itself has no difficulty.
Right. There's no meaning in the situation.
No built-in meaning. You give it meaning. That's what you're designed to do. You are the meaning givers. You give meaning to life. You give meaning to creation. Through you, creation understands what it means.
Yes.
You see the simple beauty of that? You are all reflections of all that is. All that is learns what it is by experiencing all the reflections that all of you are that are it. You give meaning to it. You give meaning to God. You understand?
Yes, I do.
And thus then when you give meaning to God in your unique way, God gives meaning to you, just to use that word loosely. You understand?
Yes.
You give meaning to each other. It's a relationship. It's not a one-way street. It's a relationship. It's a circle. It's a sphere. You are all that is. All that is you. Everything is made out of all that is. There's nothing else to make anything from, because all that is all there is. There is no outside to all that is. If there were, all that is wouldn't be all that is, because it wouldn't be the outside, but all that is everything, so there is no outside. Make sense?
Yes.
Is this helping?
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. Last year, you talked to us about 2013 being the year of transformation.
Yes.
And that we would be shaken to our core this year.
Yes.
Have we just shifted to a different...
You're always shifting.
Have we shifted to a reality that we don't need to be shaken to our core, or is it still coming?
You have asked the question in kind of a nervous way.
Well, we are in LA.
So perhaps I will say you have one foot in one reality and one still in the other. Because you sound like you're straddling your belief systems.
That's true. That's true.
I know. That's why
Yes.
I said it.
Yes.
So, what do you prefer? And perhaps, what do you believe is possible for you? And perhaps, more importantly, what do you know is true for you?
Well, there is some excitement to Earth changes.
Yes, there is.
There is.
You can, again, see anything in a positive light and experience it in a positive way. Doesn't matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Even total destruction can be very exciting if you use it that way.
Yes. Yes.
So, what is it for you?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thank you. Remember, the belief that you need protection invites the attack.
Right. Right.
Don't fear the idea and run away from it. Prefer another idea and run toward it. You know the difference? Because if you fear an idea and try to run away from it, you will never escape it. Because your fear anchors you to it. Because it's that vibration. The only way to let that go is to focus in a completely different reality with a completely different vibration, wherein that's simply not a consideration, simply because you don't need it to be. Remember, as we have reminded many of you, your own Einstein said you cannot solve a problem from the same level in which the problem was created. You have to go to another level. So the idea is don't run away from fear, but run towards, enjoy, and the idea of what is not you will simply not be an issue. Make sense?
Yes.
So, where are you with this then?
There's a part of it that's exciting.
Yes.
And having grown up in Southern California, I've experienced earthquakes, many earthquakes and things.
And that's
so
exciting.
there's a part that is exciting.
Yes.
And there's a part that is community building, and
yes.
There's other things
And that's
that come out of
exciting
it.
too.
There is.
Not that you have to do it that way, but if you do,
True.
you can reap the benefits.
Right.
The idea, of course, is to learn that you can do it other ways. Yes?
Yes, and practice that, I guess.
Yes. Well, again, as we say, even going beyond what you believe to be true is what you know to be true. Because what you know to be true, you just do. You just behave that way. Action, behavior, and knowingness are synonymous. Do you understand this?
Yes. Well, I know I'm safe. There's
Well,
no
then,
question.
Why did the question come up then?
A curiosity.
Because obviously there is a question.
There is a question. Because it's November of 2013, and
Yes.
I found it fascinating that you said we'd be shaken to our core.
Yes.
And
That can
so
be
I
taken
guess
in many ways.
That's true. That's true. I guess just the way you said it and how you kept stressing it.
And the question for you is, why did you take it that way? Because that gives you an opportunity in the reflection we gave to see how you decided to take it, how you decided to interpret it, what meaning you decided to give that phrase. You will be shaken to your core. Some of you might have just thought of an apple.
Okay.
Some of you may have simply taken it to be something would happen in your life that would cause a great emotional change deep within you. Many of you took it in a variety of ways. So the question always is, look at the way you took it and ask, why did I take it that way?
Okay.
And then you will understand your beliefs, and then you will understand which beliefs to hold on to and which beliefs to let go of that you don't prefer. Yes?
Yes.
So in letting go of core beliefs, you become shaken to your core. You understand?
Yes.
You shake yourself and shake out the core beliefs that don't belong to you.
Thank you.
Shaken to your core. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, of course, there is always the possibility of the physicalization that you talked about. We're testing you now. And in fact, one recent idea has been put into your society to give you another opportunity to decide what you prefer to believe and what you prefer to experience. And this new idea, Nania, you'll appreciate this, is that a part of Hawaii can destroy Los Angeles. What? It has been discovered that over time, many aspects, many fragments of the Hawaiian Islands have sloughed off and fallen into the ocean. Hundreds of thousands of tons of material at a time, creating what you call mega tsunamis. There is a land slump in the southeast side of the large island of Hawaii that is eventually going to fall into the sea. And when it does, mega tsunami, all the way to the west coast of your America. Get ready to hold your breath. All right, so that idea has now been presented into the reality pot. Stir, stir, stir. Mix in healthy amounts of joy and fear, synchronicity and karma. Stir and stir and stir. What comes out of that and how it tastes is up to you. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Does that help?
It does. Thank you. One other. The hybridization project,
Yes.
I'm sure, has been going on for many of our Earth years.
Yes, it has.
And I would think that many of the hybrid children are now adults. Do they have children of their own?
Some actually do. But time for them is not necessarily exactly what it is for you.
That was my next question. What is their time like? It's not on Earth time.
Extremely flexible. So even though it may seem to you that a child was created many, many, many years ago, they still may be experienced by you as a child if that kind of an encounter is what serves, because when they encounter you, they will simply reinsert themselves in your time frame when and where and how they need to give you the reflection and representation that you require, regardless of whether they may be older in another time frame or not. This is similar to the function that we have told you we perform. When we talk to all of you, we're actually always sliding up and down our time frame. Sometimes you're talking to the consciousness of my being when I am 54. Sometimes you're talking to the consciousness of my being when I'm 137. Sometimes you're talking to the consciousness of my being when I am 217. My consciousness will slide where it needs to go to access whatever information is required in the conversation. And if I have learned something at a certain point in my life, then my consciousness will simply go to that point in my life to draw upon that information and give it to you. So you never know who you're talking to when you're talking to us. Or perhaps more precisely, you never know when you're talking to us.
Okay.
Make sense?
That does. Thank you. And how many hybrid children do I have?
Of a percentage of your genetic material that you would consider relevant, about 27.
Okay. Thank you so much, Bashar. We
Thank
so
you.
appreciate you.
Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
How are you?
Perfect, and you?
Oh, I'm good. Very nice.
Oh, all right.
My question is actually on channeling.
Yes.
Is there any specific way that you can know that you're either being channeled through, or can it be subtle, or does it have to be as...
Channeling is a natural state that all of you do from time to time. Remember, it's just that state when you're doing what you love to do. You don't notice the passage of time. You're not creating it, in a sense, really. And the idea is that it seems like 5 minutes have gone by and you look up and, oh, everyone else says, oh no, 3 hours. That's a channeling state. As we have said, the singer who's lost in the song, the actor who becomes the character, that moment in a sense of blending, of being more expanded, of really living your joy in that moment, living in the present, that's a channeling state. So you all do it from time to time. It can be experienced in a subtle way, yes, of course. It can be experienced in profound ways. It depends on what works for you. It depends on what you've chosen. It depends on what serves.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
So, is there some particular specific excitement about this for you in some particular method or expression?
I feel like a lot of times I'm having information sent to me that I'm
Yes.
not coming up with.
Well, that's
myself.
true of all of you. But the idea is that a lot of it's coming from your guides, a lot of it's coming from your own higher mind, your own oversoul, many other aspects of your own greater consciousness, and from time to time, some of it is also coming from other beings, or at least what you would call distinctly other beings. Yes.
Okay.
Does that help you?
It does.
It doesn't always have to be that you know where it's coming from, and sometimes it actually would get in your way to know that, because it's the information that's important, and your application of the information that's important, not always what the source of that information is. As long as you believe and feel that it is in alignment with your joy and your truth, then by all means apply it.
Okay.
The information is there for you to decide what you wish to do with it or not.
Okay.
It's always up to you. Yes?
Yes.
All right. And so, in getting this information, are you applying it in your life in the most exciting way that you can, with absolutely no assumption as to what the outcome ought to be?
Sometimes.
Oh, all right. Why only sometimes? Do you not want to be ecstatic all the time?
No, I do.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Well, so why only sometimes? What is it about that process that you are trusting in negatively?
It's been fear, just not
Of?
probably being accepted by other people that are not quite on the same alignment with.
Do you understand the paradox in what you have just said? You will never be accepted by people who are not in alignment with you.
Right.
So why try?
It's true.
And why care?
Yep.
What do you think, you're going to change their mind? No. You may give them an opportunity to change their own mind, but you can never change their mind. So why try? Why care?
Yeah.
Be the example. Let them decide for themselves what they prefer. Yes?
Yes.
Then are you showing them compassion by doing that? Yes. You understand?
Yes.
Does that help you feel a little bit more relaxed?
It does.
Oh, all right.
I have one more question.
Yay.
How many children do I have?
I'm not telling you. Now, why do you think that might be?
Not sure.
Yes, you are. You've already gotten a number. Come on. You're the one talking about channeling. Did you not have any kind of a synchronistic experience that gave you a number that stood out for some unknown reason?
I always have 2.
Yes. And?
I don't know.
How is that reflected to you? Or I'll ask you the greater question. Why do you need to know?
I guess it's just important for me to know something.
You
that
guess? I guess it's important.
It's important for me to know. Yes.
How do you know it's important for you to know?
Because it excites me.
It excites you to know?
Yes.
All right. And if you know, what are you going to do with that information? How are you going to apply it in your life?
Go and make some babies. I'm just kidding.
Is that an offer?
Possibly.
Oh, not to us. But others are listening in, you know. So if you offer, there will be takers.
Yes, thank you.
15.
Oh.
Now remember, when we share these numbers, it is that we are sharing a particular percentage of genetic material exists in those beings that you could thus then recognize them as having enough material of yours, in a sense, to be called your children. It doesn't mean that your genetic material isn't spread much wider than that. But it means that many of them don't necessarily have the same strength of genetic material. It might be more diluted, even though it might, in that sense, have come from you.
Okay.
But there is only a certain percentage of which the vibrational signature of those beings would in some way strongly relate to you as a parent. Do you understand?
Yes.
Does that help?
A lot. Thank you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Now that you have that number, do something with it.
Okay. Thank you,
Bashar.
Bashar.
What will you do? What will you do? I'm not letting you off the hook. What will you do You see, this is karma.
Yeah. Go make some babies.
Why is that your statement for a second
No.
time?
No, I understand actually that meaning has a lot more depth to it for myself than I could really explain right here. So.
All right, well, I'll give you a hint. You're not far off when you say go make some babies, but understand that anything you create is your child.
Okay.
So go make some babies of a different sort.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you.